San Jose, welcome to the stage. Your opener, iAmAJKirsch.
San Jose, are you ready to have a good time tonight? Well then, welcome everyone to the Improv in San Jose, California, where tonight, the hardcore legend Mick Foley brings you the Nice Day Tour. I am your host for the evening, AJ Kirsch, known within some circles as Broseph Joe Brody. Oh, we have some familiar fans in the house. All right. Well, we know how we feel about the fans at Hood Slam. Thank you. I'm glad you said it so I don't have to. Also, Season 5 of WWE Tough Enough, formerly one half of the Major League Wrestling commentary team, the first and only Rock the Promo champion, who, by the way, Mick Foley anointed with his approval with my promo prowess to get me to the finals. And finally, and perhaps most proudly, formerly one half of the Yolo County Tag Team Champions. That's right. That is right. And if and when Otis is released, Dave Dutra and I want our goddamn rematch. We are getting that rematch. Book it, you cowards. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Yolo County Tag Team Championships were literally pieces of cardboard with Sharpie and magic marker, and we were on SmackDown and got completely destroyed by heavy machinery. It was a lot of fun, but I actually had somebody slide into my DMs and ask me to cut out of cardboard and mark up a Yolo County replica tag team championship for them, which of course I happily did because wrestling is that carny. And I'd do it again too. If anybody wants one, slide into my DMs. I'll totally do it. I'm kind of amazed WWE hasn't capitalized on that because it's literally just magic marker and cardboard, and the markup would be insane. Probably higher than anything else WWE has ever done. But speaking of merchandise, Mick has been nice enough to grant me a tiny square on the merchandise table on your way out. So come by, say what's up, because this is just, it's a big deal for me. I have been a Foley fan ever since he scared the shit out of me as Mankind in 1996. And I'm going to tell a brief story about that later, but I want to talk about tonight, right here, right now. There are a few items of business I need to cover before we proceed with the hardcore legend, the reason we're all here tonight. Number one, that cool little video played, and it said, keep your phones on silent. Better yet, don't have them out at all. Don't even have them out. Don't take pictures. Don't take video, because whatever happens here tonight is for all of us. It's for all of us here. It's in the moment. It's for all of us to laugh together, hopefully not cry together. If you are crying, hopefully it's because you're laughing so hard. So just keep your phones away. Just be present. This is not for social media. This is for all of us here tonight who, one, love professional wrestling, and two, love Mick Foley. So keep your phones in your pockets. The one exception is right now. If you need to be on your phone, take a picture of me on stage, get video of me. Nobody cares about me. And I did not get a picture or video of me on stage last time I did this, so if you need to be on your phones, thank you, baby Huey, I see you. My retinas are burning. Mikey, who else is over there? Jimbo, I appreciate you. Get it right now. Get it out of your system. You know, you can quit anytime you want. Just as soon as Mick Foley comes out here, phones away, that would be great. Because also, fun fact, WWE has finished producing not one, but two specials on the hardcore legend. And part of those specials are these shows. So we don't want something that might be involved in these specials getting out before it's supposed to get out. So out of respect for Mick and the Improv and just the reason we're all here tonight, phones away when Mick comes out. That would be great. Also, Mick is telling factual stories on this stage. So that's not funny? That's actually true. It's very true. Why is there still laughing happening? It's true. He's telling factual stories on stage, and they might be stories that you know already, having read his books or seen interviews or whatever the case is. These might be stories that you've heard already. So if you have heard them, or if you know what the punchline is, or if you know what the big reveal is, as much as you might want to go, William Regal, maybe just keep it to yourself. Savor the anticipation and just know that eventually this entire room is going to enjoy that punchline as much as you are. And another a lot of us are very passionate wrestling fans, to a scary degree of passion behind professional wrestling. And there's no prize for proving that you know the answer before everybody else. There's no prize for knowing more than for being the smartest mark in the room. There is no prize for that. So I see some pointing happening over here. So again, just if you know the punchline, if you know how the story ends, just keep it to yourself and savor the anticipation. And again, you're sharing this with everybody in this room. It's living here tonight, and it's a fleeting moment. So let's all be present. Let's enjoy it. And I can't say too much about what's going to happen here tonight, but Mick and I were in the green room earlier, and we were kind of cooking up something that's pretty fun because there's a holiday coming up. This Sunday is Mother's Day. Yeah, one mom is super excited because I just reminded her kids that it's Mother's Day and she didn't have to. So you are welcome. That's all I can say about what may or may not happen later on tonight. But we were cooking up something backstage that I think is going to be a lot of fun. So you have that to look forward to. Finally, probably, unless I think of something else to say, the end of the show is going to be a Q&A. You are going to have a chance to ask questions of the hardcore legend. And I will be running all over as much as possible to field as many of your questions as possible. The thing is, we don't have time to get to everybody. We just don't. And I'm going to do my absolute best to spread the love across the room as much as possible, legally, of course. As much as possible, I'm going to spread the love across the room. I want everybody to feel like they have a chance to ask a question of Mick Foley. And if I don't get to you, it's nothing personal. And as a Mick Foley fan myself, as I alluded to earlier, and as I'm going to take a moment to dive into a little bit deeper here in just a moment, my heart would break too if I had a chance to ask Mick Foley a question and it didn't happen. So from the bottom of my heart, I truly, genuinely apologize if we don't get to your question. We just don't have enough time to get to everybody. So it's nothing personal. Believe me, I feel the pain. I feel the heartbreak. I'm going to see it on your face. I'm going to feel like shit when I see it. So I apologize ahead of time. I've got to be the bad guy. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. I've got to be the bad guy. Hey, yo. That's right. Shit, I should have started with hey, yo. Anybody have a toothpick? It's too late. It's too late. We're just going to roll with it. I think that's everything I wanted to cover, but before I bring out the reason why we're all here tonight, I wanted to share a quick story. I first became a pro wrestling fan in March of 1996. I remember it very clearly, and it was a super exciting time to become a wrestling fan because it was just 1 or 2 months before Scott Hall and Kevin Nash jumped ship to WCW and igniting the Monday Night Wars. It was 3 months before Austin 316 was born. It was 4 months before the NWO. ECW was starting to make a ton of noise. It was just a super exciting time to become a wrestling fan, to become a religiously devout wrestling fan. And I was 12 at the time. And I remember watching Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 12. The boyhood dream has come true for Shawn Michaels. Everybody remembers that night if you're a wrestling fan. That wasn't a bad Vince, was it? What a maneuver! Okay, I'm done. Just one. Just how do you impersonate tearing both of your quads? I did not rehearse that. I'm not going to do it. How do you fuck up a stunner really badly? Like, notoriously. That's the last stunner we're ever going to see in WWE, and it was a mess. No mulligans at WrestleMania. All right, anyway, day after WrestleMania 12, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania has always been the most anticipated of the year, and there was a debut that night of a character named Mankind. And this was unlike anything I'd ever seen. This was not a 6'5", chiseled out of solid granite bodybuilder. This was somebody who was missing teeth, missing an ear, missing patches of hair. Genuinely unlike anything I had ever seen. And he beat very soundly spark plug Bob Holly. That's the biggest pop Bob Holly has ever gotten. I hope he doesn't hear me say that. He'll beat the shit out of me. And he beat him with the mandible claw. First time I'd ever seen that move. And Bob Holly was just foaming at the mouth. Foaming at the mouth. And I'd never seen that in pro wrestling before. In the back of my head, I knew that pro wrestling was a show. I knew it was a performance. But I still had to leave the couch, go into my parents' bedroom, and they were reading or something, and I was just like, Mom? Dad? Pro wrestling is, it's a show, right? And without even, looking up from the book, my dad was like, yeah, it's all a show, don't worry about it. And I peeked my head back in the living room, and there's Bob Holly foaming at the mouth again. And I didn't know what to think. I knew what was true, but I had no idea what to think in that moment. And then maybe 20 minutes later, after The Undertaker gets through a hard-fought battle with Justin Hawk Bradshaw, later to become JBL, the night after he went to war with Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Mankind storms the ring, does that elbow off the apron onto The Undertaker, and once again applies the mandible claw. And now The Undertaker! Last time, I swear. Probably. Now The Undertaker's foaming at the mouth. And again, I know that pro wrestling is a show. I know that in my soul. I know that it's true. But I had that same unsettling feeling. And I couldn't shake it. And little did I know at the time, but as pro wrestling started entering the Monday Night Wars and the Attitude Era, and as I was growing with it, it was that moment from Mick Foley and basically the overall work of Shawn Michaels that made me want to pursue a career in professional wrestling. I will never forget that moment as long as I live. And that's one of the reasons why it's just extremely surreal, and I am eternally grateful for what I'm about to say in 5 seconds. San Jose, California.